Wonder Woman issue 78, G. Willow Wilson writing with Tom Derenick on the art. And get into this. Love has left the building, and
the death of love.
And everyone is getting a little bit less empathetic as a result.
Yep.
Great scene where
like...
someone, a cyclist gets hit by a car on the road, and a couple of onlookers go, "Oh, that's terrible. He's been hit by a car. Someone should help him." Yeah, but I'm not going to do it because I might get hit by a car too. Let's just leave him out there.
Right. So is this Wilson saying like the root of empathy is love? Like, but we don't associate it with that, right? Like, love is this romantic thing, but to have love for your fellow man means you don't want to see anything bad happen to him. And so when love goes away, so does that. And is this a reflection of modern society with the social media and the distance between people and whatnot? Or am I just reading into it too much?
Maybe skewed it a little bit, but I don't mean
the core point of love being the root of empathy is definitely intentional.
Yeah, and even just the fact that love's a big part of who Wonder Woman is, so without it she can't even fight. That she becomes this lesser.
Well, yeah, she has.
It's the idea that
desire.
She's not like Batman or even Clark to that extent, where they're driven by different things.
Right.
And hers happens to be love.
Right, because she left paradise to improve the world of man, right? And there has to be, because she wants to bring a bit of paradise to them.
Yeah.
I find it ironic, too, that one of my villains that I've learned to love with Barbara Ann is responsible for the death of love. So, like...
Yeah, I mean, she smashes Wonder Woman's gauntlets and takes her other stuff.
Yeah,
I have a big problem with the art in this first section. Actually, no, more the coloring specifically, because it's framed as clearly she's running, but she's already had a bit of a tussle, right? So there's the faded out bits that are clearly they're kind of flashbacks. They happened before. The problem is the big, huge page where the gauntlets are broken also clearly happened in the fight previously, because all the present day stuff she doesn't have them, but it's colored like the present stuff.
Yeah, you think they're doing a Memento thing? Is that what they were trying to go for? To where this is the point where they meet up?
No, because I think if you go to like the very first panel of the book, the color one, and then then we got a faded one, which is a flashback in the fight, and then the next panel you can see clearly she already doesn't have the bracelets, so that is ahead of.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So like in Memento, where it's they're telling it in the two different parts until they meet up in the middle.
Are you saying the stuff that's full color is going backwards?
No, I get what Connor's saying, that they were. My thing is they were trying a Memento thing, but they got it backwards, right? Whereas
meaning forwards.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So they told a story.
Never mind.
I don't actually quite get it. But yeah, do you, Pete?
Not really, but I will add to this and say that I don't really like the art in the issue as a whole for the most part.
Yeah,
I think it's
bits I like, but it's not the best.
It's very 90s. Wonder Woman looks a bit too bulky at times. All the faces are a little bit just that chunky 90s kind of look that they've got.
They all have square jaws. Every character has a square jaw, from Cheetah to Steve Trevor.
Yep.
They do, and it's not necessarily to my taste, but I don't hate the art. But it was that first bit with the coloring that annoyed me, because it established this whole a sequence with the coloring, and it was a technique, and then it just completely threw it out the window 3 pages in.
Yeah,
and that really annoyed me.
The scene with her in the bubble bath too looks very awkward.
Yeah, Steve's trying to be comforting, but he can't because love's gone.
Yeah, there's a few times I feel like it's just a bit awkward. Wonder Woman in Etta's office is one where she stood up the first panel of that there.
Yep.
Yeah, because Etta calls her in because all hell's breaking loose because there's no love. No one showed up to work because they don't care anymore.
And I did like the dialogue. He's like, "What you just said? People love their jobs." She's like, "No, of course not. They hate their jobs, but they love their families. They put up with the job."
I've not related to a line in a comic in quite some time.
Yeah.
I love my house. I don't want to keep it, therefore I have to go to work.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So But and I know that Wonder Woman wears next to nothing half the time, right? Like that's her costume. But without the bracelet, she seems naked to me, right? Like,
yeah, it looks kind of
No,
weird.
it does look really weird without the bracelets.
Yeah, and so it makes her vulnerable, and I do like that. I'll give the art credit there, but that's also the tone of the issue and whatnot. And Kale looking properly Bond villain-esque here, complete with white fluffy cat.
It's just a shame it wasn't a spinny chair.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but Wonder Woman gets the idea of going to Veronica Kale for help, to try and figure out how they could fix this, and whatever. So, Veronica's like, so you want me to help you, yada yada yada, there's no love, and she doesn't really quite believe her, because, I mean, this is something that even Steve said earlier on, is that he doesn't feel any different, it's not noticeable right away. And then she tries to think about her daughter, and then she can't remember the pain of not having her, which was a big driving force for her for, like, Rucka's run.
For, like, 2 years.
Yeah. So, and then she's like, okay, fine, I guess we're doing this. So, yeah. And she gets a shard of the sword that she was hit with in her skin. And that's kind of like what propels us. Whereas the final scene is some looters with masks just stealing stuff because, again...
With a not Daredevil mask.
A not Daredevil mask. Because they don't care, because no love. Again. And Wonder Woman is getting kind of rough. Like, because she has no love, she's fighting with a little bit less compassion, a little bit less tact, but a bit more vicious, as it were. And
she
maybe throws this random guy quite hard into a wall.
Yes, and she is just
should have been stealing.
She is just up in a building somewhere, just looking down, just sort of grinning, and that's kind of how Mendeshu. So yeah, this is the sort of thing where I'd almost wanted to tie into other books and have other books like lose love for an issue just to see what it's like.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That's why I said, like, reading Batman right after this felt jarring, because I was like, oh man, this could have been cool to have a ripple effect. But hey, I'm not holding that against it.
No, I want to point out Atlantiades when they leave, and they got to get back to their followers. Because duty still means something, even if love does not. And I was just like, oh, damn. Like, it has changed. It's affecting even the gods. So, you know where the next thing is, right? You got to kill war. Because if love's dead, war has to come next. That just evens everything out. We're back to normal.
Sure, let's go get Ares and just edit the man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, actually, I like the story of this show a lot. I like what the story's doing completely.
Yeah.
And once again, it makes me sad that Wilson's leaving the book. The art, though, I definitely felt was especially because since this book's had a lot of good art since Wilson took over.
Buddy.
So this is especially sticking out to me, just how kind of
anyone feel I know we were not super keen on the style, but a distinct like drop in quality when it cut to Washington and was doing the scenes outside on the street and the cyclists being hit. Like, that felt a lot rougher. Like it was maybe it was a completely different inker or something. It just didn't feel tight at all.
Well, this is Norm Rapman, so Rapman's a pretty decent inker. No,
there's two inkers, Trevor Scott and Mark Rampman. So that might be what it is. It might be that section, a couple of pages, is done by someone else, because I felt it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say something. No, I forgot. Oh, I wasn't a big fan of Carrie Nord, right? But I'll take Nord over this every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because at least with Nord, it's stylistically different enough. Whereas here, everyone kind of looks square. And, but yeah.
Yeah, all right, Matt, what are you giving it?
I'm going to give this one 7.5. I really like the story, but the art, it's almost a reverse Batman.
Sure.
I really like the art in that one, and the story took it down.
Connor?
I'm actually going to agree with a 7.5. Art dragging it down a bit.
Yeah, I will also agree with the 7.5. Story's good. If this, based on the story alone, it's probably like an 8.5 or something like that, but...
But that's not how comics work.
No, but there's art too, yes.